Charles Darwin, naturalist. If I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. It is those who know little, not those who know much, who so positively assert that this or that problem will never be solved by science. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives, it is the one that is the most adaptable to change. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I for one must be content to remain an agnostic. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. In the long history of humankind and animal kind, to those who learned to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. One general law leading to the advancement of all organic beings, namely multiply, vary, let the strongest live and the weakest die. Besides love and sympathy, animals exhibit other qualities connected with the social instincts which in us would be called moral. But I am very poorly today and very stupid, and I hate everybody and everything. One lives only to make blunders. We must, however, acknowledge, as it seems to me, that man, with all his noble qualities, still bears in his bodily frame the indelible stamp of his lowly origin. We can allow satellites, planets, suns, universe, nay, whole systems of universe to be governed by laws, but the smallest insect we wish to be created at once by special act. Nothing is easier than to admit in words the truth of the universal struggle for life, or more difficult, at least I have found it so, than constantly to bear this conclusion in mind. If it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed which could not possibly have been formed by numerous successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down, but I can find no such case. Man in his arrogance thinks himself a great work, worthy of the interposition of a deity more humble, and I believe truer, to consider him created from animals